In the middle of the Sahara Desert, something impossible appeared. Rows of deep purple corn, standing tall against the endless orange sand. This land was once called completely dead. No rain, no rivers, no farming. And yet, purple corn was growing here. Not small plants, but strong, healthy stalks, moving slowly in the desert wind. For centuries, nothing survived in this place. But somehow, a team of farmers and scientists changed the story. They did not bring rain. They did not move the desert. Instead, they changed the soil itself. They dug deep trenches into the burning sand. They filled them with dark, rich soil brought from far away. Then they placed a quiet system beneath the surface. Black irrigation pipes, slowly feeding water drop by drop. Finally, they planted something unusual. Tiny seeds of purple corn. At first, nothing happened. Just wind, just heat, just endless sand. But then, something small appeared. A single green sprout, pushing through the desert sand. The first sprout looked fragile, just a thin green line in the sand. But that tiny plant was stronger than it seemed. Below the surface, the black irrigation pipes were already working. Every few minutes, a single drop of water touched the soil. Not too much, just enough for the roots to survive. Day by day, the roots pushed deeper into the dark soil. The desert sun was still harsh. Temperatures climbed above 40 degrees, but the soil below stayed cool. The water stayed hidden underground. Slowly, more green shoots appeared. One plant became 5. 5 plants became dozens. Small leaves began to stretch toward the sunlight, bright green against the endless orange sand. From far away, the change was barely visible, but close to the ground, life was quietly spreading. Week after week, the plants grew taller. Thin stalks turned stronger. Leaves widened. And then, something surprising happened. The first purple cornflowers began to form, right in the middle of the Sahara Desert. By the 3rd week, the change was impossible to ignore. The small plants were no longer fragile. They were tall, strong. The green field was spreading across the sand. From above, the farm looked like a green island in the middle of an endless orange ocean. Each cornstalk was now almost as tall as a person. The drip irrigation continued quietly underground. Drop by drop, the roots received water. But something else was happening too. The dark soil was slowly improving the land around it. The soil held moisture. It cooled the ground. And tiny insects began to appear. Life was returning to a place that had been silent for centuries. Soon, thick corn stalks began forming their first ears. At first they were small, wrapped tightly inside green husks, but inside those husks, something unusual was developing. Not yellow corn, deep purple kernels, slowly growing under the desert sun. By the 2nd month, the desert farm looked completely different. The small green strip had become a thick field. Tall corn plants stood close together. Their leaves moved slowly in the warm desert wind. From far away, the farm looked like a green lake in the middle of the Sahara. But the real surprise was hidden inside the plants. The corn ears were now fully formed, each one wrapped inside a tight green husk, protected from the burning sun. The farmers began checking the plants one by one. They opened a few husks carefully. Inside, the color was impossible to ignore. Deep purple kernels. Not pale, not weak, but rich, dark, and perfectly shaped. The experiment had worked. The desert had grown its first purple corn. Now only one question remained. How big would the harvest be? The harvest day arrived quietly. The desert looked the same as always. Endless sand, hot wind, bright sun. But inside the green field, everything was different. The purple corn was ready. Each stalk carried heavy corn cobs, strong enough to survive the desert heat. The farmers walked slowly through the rows, checking the plants one last time. Then the harvest began, one by one. The corn ears were pulled from the stalks. Green husks were peeled back, and the color appeared again, deep purple. The kernels were large, shiny, perfectly formed. No one expected such healthy crops in the Sahara Desert. Soon baskets began to fill. Purple corn, grown where nothing had grown for centuries. But the most surprising moment was still coming. The moment they cut the corn open and looked inside. Within days, the news began to spread. Photos of purple corn in the Sahara Desert appeared online. At first, many people thought it was fake. A desert cannot grow corn, especially not purple corn. But the evidence was real. Scientists arrived to study the farm. They examined the soil. They checked the irrigation system. They tested the plants. Everything was working exactly as planned. The secret was simple: healthy soil, careful water control, and patience. The drip irrigation wasted almost nothing. Every drop went directly to the roots. Slowly, the desert farm created its own small ecosystem. Insects returned, birds appeared. Life was slowly coming back to the land. And the purple corn became a symbol of something bigger. If food could grow here, then maybe the desert was not truly empty after all. The experiment started with a single idea. Could life return to the desert? At first, it seemed impossible. The Sahara had been dry for thousands of years. Hot winds, endless sand, almost no water. But the purple corn proved something important. The desert was not truly dead. It was simply waiting for the right conditions. Healthy soil, careful water, and time. One small farm cannot change the entire Sahara. But it can show what is possible. A single green field in the sand. A place where insects return, where birds land again, and where food grows, where nothing grew before. Maybe one day, small farms like this will appear across many deserts, turning empty land into fields of life. And it all began with something simple. A handful of seeds planted in the sand.